So when do you know when to upgrade to a professional saxophone mouthpiece? Let's find out in this video. So here I have two mouthpieces. One of them is just a store brand mouthpiece from Long & McQuade. The other one is a Beechler Bellite Custom 7. There's a professional mouthpiece here, and there's also a non-professional starter mouthpiece that just came with the saxophone from the music store. So first of all, let's see if they sound any different. Man, I still think that sounds pretty good. And that's just a store brand mouthpiece, so if you bought a saxophone, chances are the mouthpiece that came with it are just as good as this one, if not a little bit better. So if that's the case, why would we even bother upgrading mouthpieces if a store brand mouthpiece sounds just as good as a professional one? So I think this is a case to argue that playing well on the saxophone is more important than having the right equipment. For instance, this is a student saxophone, and it's also a store brand mouthpiece that I was playing there. And the reed was a Rico 2.5. So this is a really normal setup that you probably have an equivalent to if you're playing saxophone at all. This is the lowest of the low as far as alto saxophones come. I would still say though that professional saxophone mouthpieces make it easier to play well. So even though you can get a decent sound out of a student mouthpiece, it will slow you down. So the way I like to see it is that it's like driving in a race with a sports car versus an SUV. You can drive pretty fast in both, but the sports car is going to make it way easier to run that race, to go faster, to make the turns, all of that stuff. So I would say that if you're committed to playing the saxophone, if you've been playing for a while and you know you're not going to stop playing really ever, then it's a good time to invest in a saxophone mouthpiece that's professional. Here's the thing though, they're not cheap. Like a metal saxophone mouthpiece is on average, let's say $500 to $700 Canadian. You have to really know that you want to play saxophone if you're going to get a professional metal mouthpiece. Hard rubber saxophone mouthpieces though can be had for a lot cheaper. These would be like $100 to $200 Canadian. So just because hard rubber mouthpieces cost less than metal mouthpieces doesn't make them less worth having. It's just the cost of the materials that really makes it cost more or less in that case. So if you have the budget for a professional saxophone mouthpiece and you're committed to playing, that's a good reason to get one. Another way you can know you're ready for a professional saxophone mouthpiece is if your current mouthpiece is holding you back. Most student mouthpieces are actually classical type mouthpieces, and that really just means that the tip opening is smaller. Student mouthpieces are a lot easier to play, but you can't get as much air through them. Professional saxophone mouthpieces tend to be a little bit more open than the standard student mouthpiece, and that allows you to have the freedom of expression to get more types of sounds out of it. So if you find that your student mouthpiece is holding you back from playing the way you'd like to play, and you have to be playing long enough to understand that, you can't just be new to playing because you don't know the difference. Everything's going to sound the same. But if you've been playing for a while and you know that your mouthpiece is holding you back, that's a good time to upgrade to something a little more professional. And I would say another way that you can know you're ready for a professional saxophone mouthpiece is if you fully understand saxophone mouthpieces. And I made a video all about professional saxophone mouthpieces and the parts that make them work. So if you're interested in learning more before you go out to buy one, you can click on that link over there and learn more. Thanks, see you next time.